So I will take you through how to be successful on the application for the Yali 2018. Next. I was placed at University of Virginia and the College of William and Mary next, and the College of William and Mary. That one you'll see, it is the group of 25 young leaders from various nations in Africa who were placed at the University of Virginia. And also next, I was also placed at the University of William and Mary. So our program was kind of unique because it was pioneered by Presidential Precinct. Presidential Precinct, it is a consortium of College of William and Mary and University of Virginia. And in the US, in the ranking of public universities in America, University of Virginia ranks #1 in America. And College of William and Mary, it ranks #2 in the public universities in the ranking in the US. So privileged to be placed to these two universities. As you may know, College of William and Mary, this one, you can see we have the provost with us there, the group of the Yali fellows. College of William and Mary, it is the oldest university in the world after Princeton University, if you are at least aware of these universities in the world. Next. Now, I don't know whether you are able to read how to apply. So the entire program, it is a web-based application where you'll be required to go to www.yali.state.gov. If you log into that website, one thing that I would ask you to do is to follow the instruction with diligence. Why you need to follow the instruction with diligence? Because if you won't be able to follow the instructions of the application, you have less than 50% chances of being selected. But if you are able to read the instructions carefully, if you download the instruction, it is only 8 pages, so you can spend a couple of hours reviewing the 8 pages of the instructions carefully, so you understand what are the requirements that the US government wants you to consider. Now, in the instructions, I said it is 8 pages, but I've just tried to summarize in one slide. It has the program overview. I've already explained about the program overview. One last component I didn't explain, it is when you come back to Africa after the program, you'll be exposed to various opportunities financed by the USAID. Activities like practicums. Practicums are sort of internships, speaker travel grants, and mentorships. And I was honored also to serve in the Yali 2016 Regional Advisory Board from Tanzania to advise the USAID on these programs of Yali alumni after they return back to Africa. Okay. So the second component you'll be finding out in the instructions is the financial provision of the fellowship. I've written there, please note. Now, the US government will be covering all the expenses of your travel to the US, your stay in the US, it means accommodation, food, and also they will give you some sort of a stipend allowance, which will not be similar to the salary that you'll be given. Previously, back then, they used to be terming this program as the mid-career program, so they expect you to be having a job back in Africa right now, which you're doing. So they won't be able to reimburse you an amount which is equal to your salary. Maybe you receive like 100 or 1,500 US dollars per month. They won't be able to reimburse you that, but they will give you a stipend allowance which will be able to sustain you during the entire program in the US. Okay. Number 3, you'll be interacting with the technical eligibility requirements, which I'll take you through shortly from now. And also, you'll be reading details about Mandela Washington Fellowship application timeline. The timeline, I'll take you through the timeline, but also the selection process and the criteria. That's number 5, but number 6, it is the general application instruction and tips, which are like 9 tips for you, which have been prepared. That's why I say you need to spend a couple of moments reviewing the instructions before you begin the the application process. That's very important. Next. Now I will take you through the structure of the application. Now the structure of the application, it has like 12 components, and as I've said, it is an online application. So after you have logged into yali.state.gov, you'll be required to register for or to sign up an account so that you have an account. And while you're doing this application, it is not a one-time application. You can be able to save your application, all right? You can be able to save your application and go relax and come back later on and continue filling in your details into this online application. That's okay. Are we together? Okay. Now, 12 components in the application structure. Component number 1 is the general information, details about yourself. What's your name? So you make sure you fill all these details. Second is contact information. So you need to fill all these contact information of yours so that they can be able to reach you if you're successful with the application. And third, it is the institute tracks and the definition and instructions about these tracks. So I've explained in the beginning of my presentation different tracks. So this one is very important for you to note that perhaps maybe, what's your name? Edna. What are you doing right now? IT. You're doing IT, right? And what's your name? Josephine. What are you doing right now? Social work. Okay, so you're doing social work. Say Christian, right? Christian, social work, and Edna, you're doing IT, all right? So if Edna is doing IT and she has done a lot of amazing projects on IT, maybe perhaps she's doing coding. I don't know whether you're doing coding or you're doing any sort of stuff. Maybe you're doing some sort of ICT, like networking, okay? So if Edna, perhaps, or anyone else who is doing projects on ICT, for instance, maybe you have developed an application on how to sell items online, then you would be suitable for a track of business and entrepreneurship.